Smile.
Smile. Smile. Smile. Smile. Smile. Smile.
It gets better.
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 It gets better. Because there's so much infinite love everywhere. Smile. It gets better.
So lucky number 3, episode number 3, and I am with one of my favorite people in the whole entire world, like literally Miss Wafer. And she was like, she means a lot to me because she gave me an amazing opportunity before and has opened doors for me and has put beautiful checks in my pocket. So it's like, I'm forever grateful. And I'm like, besides that though, it's like, I just love your spirit. I love you. I like, I really mean it too. Like, you're someone I really look up to. And so I'm just really grateful that you're even giving me this moment and giving me your time, because I know time is money.
And little does she know, I'm like more than honored. So
yeah,
thank you.
I really appreciate it. So I'm really, really excited to dig deep and like tear you apart, because I know you've got it all in you. Honey. You are a seasoned vet. Honey. In and out of the game. So I'm really excited to pick your brain. So I definitely want to start with, who is Wafer? Who are you? What do you identify with? Who are you to the people?
I'm just a girl winging it.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of times people aren't real. I'm not going to sit here and give you an elevator pitch, run through my resume. I'm a girl winging it. I'm a girl that if I have a vision, I go after it. I am someone who's obsessed with hats.
Yes.
I'm someone who is obsessed with nail art.
Yeah.
And more than anything, I'm a mom. So I think that like my perception to the world is just a mom that is just going after her dreams, and not feeling like I have to be, this like Susie homemaker.
Right.
Is it Susie homemaker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but how has that been, balancing motherhood and your life? Because I'm pretty sure, because even I face this sometimes, where it's like, I have to make hard decisions and say like, damn, am I going home for my mom's birthday, or am I accepting this, gig that's gonna give me, that's gonna help propel in my career? And it's so weird, because out of all the days in the year, sometimes things fall on the exact same day of the month.
Yes.
And like, so how do you balance like motherhood and then having to make these decisions?
I think in the beginning it was really hard, and then look at me, a wise woman.
Yes.
No, literally, I think I was watching S.M.I.L.E on social media, and it was one of her lives, and I had asked a question of how she does it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times as mothers, we don't talk about mom guilt. Mom guilt is heavy. And she was like, you're providing for your child.
At the end of the day.
You are making a way for him to have a better life. And I said, got it, done. Yeah. And ever since then, I've just been like, I'll have an event in Atlanta, and let's say, I know that it's going to be over at 9. I take the last flight out. I'm home for, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm home in the morning to make breakfast, or, you know what I mean? I make sure that I'm always at the important things.
Right.
So if he has he goes to Catholic school. So if he has an Easter festival or something, I'm making sure that even if I have an event, I'm there and just making a way. And if I'm not, I had that conversation with him. Mommy can't make it right now.
Right. I was going to ask.
I FaceTime him. FaceTime is, if we didn't have FaceTime,
oh God. Right.
FaceTime, he's 7. He'll text me, send me gifts and emojis. We have a great relationship. As he knows that if mom can't be there, I'm a phone call away.
That's amazing. Because you have that open line of communication between you and your child. And I feel like that's one thing a lot of us don't talk about, society doesn't talk about. Balancing being a mother and having to make these choices of where to be and where not to be, and then the guilt that comes with not being there.
Yeah. I'm grateful that I have a strong support system.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you have support?
I don't think I could do it if I didn't have the support system I have. Whether it be my fiance that jumps right in, take him to casting calls if I'm not there, or my parents who fully support. Like, I was doing an event the other day, and CJ FaceTimes me. He's like, Grandpa said I can't play my video games. And meanwhile, there's a whole event happening, and I jump, because I thought it was I want to download this video game. Grandpa said I can't download it. And, you know, handling that situation and then jumping right back into event mode.
Yeah.
And no one ever knows. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
That balance.
Yeah, so.
That's amazing.
I just been doing that, and it works for me.
Any kind of mommy advice for the women that may not have all of this support?
That's a good question. I think my biggest thing is whatever decision you make, if it's going to benefit your child, do it.
Make it.
Find a way to make it happen. I know someone asked me for advice, and they were like, "Oh, I really want to take this opportunity," and it was like in LA, but she has like a teenager.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is it going to propel you to where you want to be?" No, it's a lateral move. Don't do it.
Don't. That's amazing.
You know?
That's amazing.
But if it was
advice.
going to propel her, I'm like, sis, like,
do what you have to do.
do what you have to do.
And that's amazing because you've always been someone that has supported women across the board. And I've seen that even before, you know, you and I connected. And when we did, I was like, whoa, this is genuine. And I'm not sure if I even mentioned this to you before, but, you know, I was in a space where I couldn't find the women that wanted to support me and give a helping hand and reach out. And I want to know, were you ever in my shoes? Did you ever feel like you were in a space where you're like, where are the OG women that are going to bring me up?
Yes, I remember a time, and I want to say it was right after college. Because right after college, I don't know, for a lot of people, I'm first generation. So for me, it was like, get good grades in high school, go to college, come out, you get a job that's paying you like 6 figures, and you're set. And I remember coming out of college, and it was like, oh, you got a degree, so do I. So what? Everybody.
Wow.
I really thought getting my diploma is like, you get a job, you get a job. But the reality was we don't have a job.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
And I felt like in that time, I was looking for that. I was looking for that, like, Black woman figure. I just remember going into Starbucks. I worked every retail job. So I remember, like, in between one of my, like, 30-minute breaks, and this woman, we could be candid, right? This white woman.
Of course.
Okay, this white woman
of course.
was meeting this girl, this other girl, and she was like, oh, Rebecca, your mom told me so much about you. Yeah, you can start with it. It was like a very, like, coffee meeting, and it was so easy, this conversation I was overhearing with her just saying, yeah, your mom told me all about you. You can start at my company. Like, we're just having this, like, basic conversation, but you got the job. And I just felt like just someone coming from where I came from, where your parents don't have that, and they don't have the connections to get you to where you want to be. Like, it's not easy for us. It's not easy for you. It's either you make the way, or you don't have a way. And I think sometimes, I know this word is floating around a lot, generational wealth. Other people have generational wealth because they put their kids in positions to get that help. So if I am able to afford my child a $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year, elementary school, he will then grow up with kids who are all in that tax bracket, and then they follow each other, right? So now I know, like, Jessica's mom, who's like head of PR at, I don't know, Google. You know what I mean? Like, and like, they are creating relationships and networking from childhood. So where little old me is coming in, and my parents are Nigerian, Ghanaian, and they just got here, and they don't know, you know, they all have blue collar jobs. You know, they don't know someone to hook them up or hook their daughter up at a firm internship. They don't have that.
Oh my
God. So creating that own. I would hope in the future I'm able to do that for my child.
Yeah.
But yes, to go back to your point, I didn't have that right after college, but I did get it. I did get it down the line, and her name is Carlene Roy, and I don't think, like, people see her as this event person. I call her the Beyonce of events, but I think outside of that, her passion to the women that come to her, I've never had that type of support before. And it was her that showed me, like, it's not her saying it, it's just the way that she moves, the way that she operates. I was like, if I can give someone else an opportunity, why not? You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's where that comes from.
Right.
And it also comes from me knowing what it's like not to have the support. It also comes from me just wanting someone, seeing the potential in someone and just wanting them to win. I want everybody to win. Because we're not all given those opportunities where we can off the jump.
Yo, that's so insane that you're talking about this, especially about like your parents not being in the position to have the network to move you up so easily, because I was literally on the way here watching Oprah's podcast, but like the live version of it, and she was interviewing Michelle Obama, and that's how I get rid of my anxiety. I just watch Oprah. Like every time I'm like watch Oprah videos, and you literally said verbatim everything Michelle Obama told her. That's why I'm sitting here like, no way, no, please go watch it. It's like the Super Soul series.
I'm gonna watch it.
And she's interviewing Michelle, and she literally was saying the same exact thing, because she was talking about, racism, and how, the kids nowadays are kind of like, it's not my fault. It was my parents' fault. Like, why are you guys still so mad? But it's like, it trickled down to us because your parents are still in positions to, bring you into Yale and pay your way in, and we still have to struggle to get there.
To your point, like, some of the things in the news, like, really trigger me, because I forgot her name, but she, like, paid extra money for her child to go
yeah, the actress from Full House. Yeah, I can't remember her name either.
Honey.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a woman right now in jail, probably 5-6 years?
Yep.
Because she tried to put her child in a school that was out of her zip code?
Yep.
Do you know that's what we all doing?
Yes.
You understand? Like, the only reason why I'm paying for Catholic school is because his zone school, which is in my zip code, I don't think it's like...
Yeah, up to par.
It's not up to par.
Yeah.
But if I lived literally 2 zip codes away, it would be a whole nother story. He can go to that public school.
Yeah.
And they do like dual languages, and there's all of these programs. So to me, I just feel like she got a slap on it 14 days.
Yeah. Literally 14 days.
Like, when she's already been able to provide her child, you know what I mean? The best education to get to that point, you know?
And now she's just awarded life and freedom and all of that.
If I didn't if there was no Catholic school in the area, for me to put him in, I probably would have done the same thing. Yeah. I probably would have, like, I don't want to incriminate myself. Right. Right? But you know what I mean? Like, let me use your zip code real quick. You know what I mean?
Real quick,
like,
right.
I don't know. I just feel like no one acknowledges that privilege. Yeah. Because they don't realize it. Mm-hmm. From birth, they don't realize it.
Exactly. I've had aunts that have adopted their sister's kids just so that they can go to, because they lived in a certain area, and they would adopt their siblings' children just so they can be in that.
I took a part-time job after I had CJ. I took a part-time job at like this kid's like day camp that was like so elite in Tribeca, just so he can go to those same programs for free. That's what I did.
That's insane.
Because from jump, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's dedication. Right. I love that.
So.
Yeah, and that's what I admire about you the most too. Like that dedication, that ambitious attitude, like I'm gonna get it no matter what. But I know there's the other side of it, because to be so ambitious, you set the bar this high for yourself, and sometimes you don't reach it. And I wanna know about those moments when you didn't reach that bar, and what was that like for you? What did you go through?
I think that a lot of times when you see someone who you may think is ambitious, the back door to that is that person is probably very depressed or down. That person, you know, they set these bars because they're really trying to fight themselves, you know? And I feel like, I don't even think I've had this conversation out loud other than like my fiance, who probably sees, you know what I mean? That side a lot. But is this constant, am I good enough? Is this constant trying to prove to myself, or trying to keep busy so that I'm not thinking about the negative? I think a lot of times too, it's overwhelming. You know, I think that, child. But if you, I have this thing that like, but if it's not, if I don't try, then how will I know, that I've done my best? And I tell, like, in order to get up every day, I'm like, give it 100%. If you don't give it 100%, it's your fault.
Taking accountability.
Right. And I don't think people see that backside. I tell all my friends, and they never believe me. I'm like, I'm an introvert, extrovert. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm out and about, like, I can, I don't know, like, I'm an introvert in the sense that, like, if I don't know you, this conversation wouldn't have been as comfortable if I didn't already know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe that's a part of, like, my own, like, social anxiety. But I do think that I'm an extrovert when I'm in a great, like, if the energy is right, then it's a great surrounding. Then you know what I mean? Then, then that, like, ambitious side of me comes out where I'm, like, trying to encourage all my friends, like, girl, leave that job, start your channel. I really had this conversation. Like, that has, your job right now has nothing to do with what your passion is, and you're not happy. You know what I mean? Like, I can have those conversations, but, did I answer your question?
No, you did. I'm so quiet because I'm just like, oh my God, you're touching on so much. And like, I know a lot of women that have been struggling with that social anxiety and being this introvert, extrovert person, trying to find the balance in between. And I see that you've pretty much mastered that.
Hell
or are
no.
you?
Hell
She's
no.
like,
Hell no. Ask
like,
my friends right now.
Yeah.
Have I replied to their text messages?
Oh,
Ask them how
wow.
many times I've, like, flaked on an event. It's so bad that I think they stopped asking me.
For you to come out because they're like, she's gonna say no anyway.
Right, but you know what it is? Certain times I will say yes. Like, if it's something like, girl, I'm really doing, like, I'm doing this pop up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I'll gain the strength to do it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, like, I probably had some falling out with a couple of friends, because they take it personal. You know? They take it personal. And it's really, like, if I didn't answer your text messages or your calls, probably because I was really super busy, but also I probably was not in the right frame of mind in the moment, and then I forgot to text you back. And just them learning that it's not personal.
Right. And do you take their reaction to, where you are, do you take that personal and kind of say, well, this person doesn't understand me and maybe they're not meant to be in my life? Do you take that as a lesson, or do you is there anyone that you have fought for and kind of like, no, they need to be in my life? Or are you kind of just like more free flowing and kind of more understanding of like, well, if they're meant to be here, they're meant to be here. Where do you?
It's a mix.
Okay.
It's definitely a mix. I have people before who's like, one girl was like, so needy, so clingy. She was like, you don't have, like, it was so much, and it was like, girl, you're not even.
You're not busy enough for me.
No, you know what it is? We weren't connected that way for her to be so, like, so I was like, cut. I'm so quick to cut somebody off, cut.
Yeah.
But then there's other friends who have voiced it, and I've, taken that as something that I need to work on. And I voiced to them strongly, like, look, I'm sorry if I'm a fucked up friend in this moment and you feel that way. These are the reasons why, but I love you so much that I'm willing to work on it. So instead of replying to your text 7 days later, it's 2 to 3 business days. Right.
There's still something.
Right. And then it's some people where I'm free flowing with it. Mm-hmm. I love the friends that don't take it personal, and they're like, girl, me too, I'm busy.
And you just pick up where you left off.
Pick up where you
my God. It's like the best thing ever.
My best friend now. Like, we could go 10, 15 days without talking to each other, but when we do, the tea has been spilled.
That was a moment I was just having earlier before you even came in. I was on FaceTime with my homegirl. We haven't spoken in like 5 months, but we were kikiing, right? We were just like, girl, da, 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 da. It was like, it meant nothing because
life happens.
Yeah.
Life is happening. Yeah. On top of being a mom, I gotta be a friend. I gotta be, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta be somebody wife, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
the pressure.
Right.
Girl.
Yeah. And so speaking of life happening, because I'm so curious, because I know that you've been on both sides of the spectrum. So you've had a moment where you were self-employed, and then you had another moment where you were working for like $1 trillion tech company. And so those were the kind of, like, you had two dynamics, and I know that you have both perspectives. And I want to know more about that, because, you know, the more hyper-structured way of life, you know, you're kind of following by other people's playbooks and other people's rules, and you have to satisfy other people. And then you had the point in time where you were self-employed, and it was more so of what you wanted to do.
And that's where I'm at now.
And so this is what. So before we even get into that, what is the title of this chapter in your life called?
Damn, this is good. What should I call this? The Awakening. I don't know.
Ooh.
Something spicy. I want something spicy. Now we're gonna have to take a second for that.
Okay.
The title. Damn, this is so good. I have risen. I feel. I want to call it I have risen.
Okay.
You know why? Because after working for a company like that for so long, you almost lose yourself, right? And your identity. Mm-hmm. In the sense that, like, the whole time I wanted to be more creative, right? And I couldn't. You're working for someone else. And I think that when that ended, I didn't know what would happen next, right? And it's that wondering of, like, well, what now? And in doing so, I felt like I was the lowest I've ever been in life. Because I didn't feel worthy, you know? You almost feel like, well, what am I going to do that will make me happy now? And so the whole, like, self-employed thing, I've seen other people do it, and I'm like, oh my God, that person is doing great. And I think what the conversation that is not had with people who are entrepreneurs, a lot of time they don't express the dark side of it, right? Like, they're like, oh my God, start your company, do this. Honey, I was shooketh. Okay?
Yeah.
Shooketh. And I think in the beginning, people need to realize you are literally putting the pieces of your puzzle together, and that takes every emotion possible. That takes everything. You have your own company, girl. What, like, you start thinking about how rent gonna get paid,
yes.
how I'm gonna do this, and a lot of times it's not about the money, right? Like,
yes,
if you're able to create freely, you're taking that out because your passion is worth more than any check, right? Yeah. And it's like, how am I able to fulfill my passion but still put food on the table, you know? And I just feel like I was blessed. I was blessed that seeds were planted that I didn't even know were growing. Oof. And I'm gonna get emotional in a second because when I didn't know what was gonna happen next, it's like everything in the universe.
Yeah.
I don't care if you believe in God, Allah, Buddha, everything. It was like everything was meant to be.
Yeah.
Everybody started hitting me up left and right that didn't even know what I was going through, you know? And they was like, Wafer, we want you to do this. Wafer, we want you to do that. Me? This Wafer?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
right.
You know? And I was happy to do it. And I just feel like, to be honest, women have embraced me. All of these different women have embraced. It's almost like, and I swear to you, they didn't know they were uplifting me the way that they were. That's the mystic part of it. Like, everything I've ever manifested, they didn't know that they were literally, like, scooping me up from this dark place of like the unknown. Yeah. And when I'm saying dark place, that doesn't necessarily have to mean like depression, but it was like this cloud of unknown, this cloud of like, you know, self-doubt. So, you know what I mean? And one by one, as they were hitting me up, not knowing, they were like lifting me up out of that place. And I am forever grateful for that. Forever grateful. Because it gave me the strength that I need. I just feel like, I know it sounds cliche, but I just feel like my ancestors, I don't know, the awakening. I have risen. I was like, at one morning, I was just reciting Maya Angelou poems.
Wow.
Out of the darkness. Don't even get me started. Yeah. Don't even get me started. Okay?
Yes.
But, yeah.
So do you think that moment came for you right before your employment? Was it a matter of, okay, I dreamt of what this could be, what my career could be, and then you got to that point and achieved all those goals and you got there and was like, I don't even want this. This isn't even it.
Girl.
Was it that?
I think a part of it was that. I do. I think that when something in your life, when you feel like your life is getting shaken, is because something more dynamic is coming. So when I felt like the rug was ripped under me, in that moment, yes, you feel all of these emotions. But for something like that to happen in your life, like, that means like something big is coming, something better is coming, you know? And so, and it's easy to talk to you right now and tell you all of these positive things, but in the moment, you're like, what the fuck? Can we curse?
Yes.
In the moment, you're like, what the fuck?
Of course.
Literally, I know everything happens for a reason, but what the fuck
is going on?
Yes. Like, I don't deserve this. And you start thinking, like, inward, like,
yeah. Oh my God.
Woe is me. I'm a Gemini, so I'm dramatic with it. I'm like, poor Corey. Corey's my boo.
Yeah.
Poor Corey was like, Wafer. And I'm like, no, why? What?
Why me?
Why me?
Yeah.
Right. But when you get that awakening and you start thinking, I'm very much a person, like, if you think positive, then you see the better side of things. And then I started seeing the better side of things. I was like, well, you know, I don't want nothing that don't want me. Another Miley quote, but
okay. No, that's real,
right?
That's so real.
Yeah, and you know, like this is a gem that Carlene always says: is never shrink yourself in a room, and I will never shrink myself in a room again for nobody, for no amount of money. Never shrink yourself in a room, and I felt like I was doing that the whole entire time.
Oh my God.
So
you are speaking too much. Like, I'm getting chills, and I mean it. I'm getting chills all up and through because you're answering so many questions that I've been asking myself. I've been looking for the answers. And here you are just reaffirming for me. So this is major for me. Like, you don't even know what you're doing for me right now. She's in the back going, production's in the back losing her mind because, oh my God, we have talks like this. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
oh my God.
I think a lot of times we want a seat at the table, and I think that's what I was fighting for, to be honest.
Yep.
For the past maybe 3 years, like, I want to sit at the table. I want to sit at the table. Then you kind of feel like you at the table, and you like, yep. What? Let me go make my own table because y'all tripping.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I make my own table, it's going to be because of my own creative thoughts. It's going to be because, you know, I have a deep passion for our culture and I won't fake it.
You know, you go through this phase where you feel like you can't even call someone. It's like weird. It's like I'll know it's somebody's birthday and I'll think about it 10 times in that day and I still won't hit them up to say happy birthday. It's like something blocks me from, and then I honestly felt like I couldn't measure up because I'm like, Wafer, because to me, you're on this like pedestal to me. And I was like, she's going to come to me and talk to me about her personal problems. And what am I going to say to her? How can I even sitting with you right now? I'm like, what comes next? Like, what do I, and I usually don't overthink it, but because your energy is so big and it's like, I'm so serious.
I look at her that way.
Yeah, like, oh my God. Yeah.
I look at you that way.
And I mean it too. And I'm like,
because I really, and a lot of people say, like, a lot of people, and maybe that's just me and my own social anxiety.
Yeah.
I need to unlearn, you know, like, no one's perfect, and there's a lot of things that I still need to unlearn. I need to learn how to receive compliments. I need to learn
that's where it
how
starts.
to. I think there's a big difference between being humble and being like, what's the word I'm looking for? Because a lot of times I feel like I'm being humble, but really it's like, no, receive that, you know. And so for you to say that, I'm like, oh my God, I receive it.
That's amazing.
Because I don't see a lot of, and there's another unlearn. I need to learn how to see myself as other people see me.
You.
And I don't do that. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't do it. But I'm learning to, like, try to do it.
And I love that you said, I receive, because that's something that I've been practicing. Like, it's funny because it started from a tweet where, like, a couple of people start tweeting. It's kind of trendy where they're like, you know, abundance and money and blah, blah, blah. Tweet, I receive under this, to accept this tweet. And then I started saying it in real life and said, I receive this, I receive that, because, and like Oprah was talking about this morning, just opening up and giving that and making room for abundance. A lot of us are not doing that. Like, we're living great, but we block our own blessings because we're just like, I don't deserve it.
Whoo, child.
I don't deserve it.
I always go through this, like, I don't deserve moment.
Oh my God.
But why? Why do I not deserve love? Why do I not deserve to be happy? You know, like, why are we like this? Like,
where did the conditioning come from for you, you think? Where did that stem from?
Oh, girl, you about to get deep. I feel like, you know what I feel like? That Wale conversation that he had about his daughter, I feel like it goes without saying that happens in a lot of homes of parents who are not, you know, from here. And so I feel those things really triggered me in my childhood. From both parents. I just feel like the best thing for me to do is to do the opposite with my child. And my best friend's mom, I remember being pregnant, and I asked her, I said, what's your best advice, right? I call her Mama Mo, and she said, tell your child you love them 100 times a day. Like, just like the way I saw her love, that's what I do to CJ. Like, I tell him I love you every day. I kiss him 100 times. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like that's why I felt like I wasn't pretty enough, or I wasn't worthy of love, or I wasn't, you know? I think a lot of things like that kind of develop those thoughts, you know?
Right.
Not hearing I love you constantly growing up, I think that plays a lot, I think, for a woman or a girl, you know? And we don't know until we get older.
Yeah.
We don't realize it.
Yeah. That's so real.
Yeah.
But I love what it does. I love what that kind of thing does to people that want to rise above that, because then we say, that's what I don't want to do. That this is what this turned me into. Now I know. Great. Recognized it. I'm not passing it on.
Yeah.
And I just had that conversation the other day about what kind of parent I'm going to be, because my parents weren't the worst, but it was like, but it could have been this.
It could have been this.
And I could have, but I love that you are taking that, flipping it, and then implementing.
Yeah. And I do think, I think eventually I'll get into a space where, I go to therapy. I can't afford it right now, child. I think the therapist I want to see is $150 a session.
An hour? Oh, a session, Jesus.
But when I get to that point, I think it's going to be a lot of, you know what I mean? Then I can really like deep dive into all of those feelings. But the only thing I can do is to not do that.
That, exactly. And I feel like right now, like you said, you're in this space of I have risen and you're starting to collect your things, okay? And you're getting your blessings and you're receiving in like abundantly. What's next? Are we branching out and creating the Wafer empire? Are we creating your own company? What are we doing? What are we creating?
You mean outside of me winging it?
Yeah.
Because
I'm sure you're winging it with a goal. I know there's a bigger picture. So what does that bigger picture look like for you?
Off the bat, I want to start a hat line.
Yes.
Off the bat.
Okay.
So 2020.
Yes.
I'm coming for that. I think that I want to say I don't know. I want to say I'm comfortable. And I'm saying that because I'm a person that's always thinking about what's next. That in this moment, I want to live. I want to live in this moment that's happening right now. Because I'm always like, ask anybody that knows me, I'm always like, next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm always like trying to jump. And I haven't been present.
Right, and now you want to smell the flowers.
Now I want to smell the flowers because I have not been present.
And give yourself flowers and receive your flowers.
But I do in the future. I don't know. God damn it. For once in my life, I don't know.
And that's amazing because that leaves the door, like the window of opportunity, so open because you're.
I know I want to work in the music industry. I know that I want to take all of the skills and experiences that I've learned, whether that be talent management, event producing, and just ball it up into one like role that's probably not even existed yet.
Create that lane.
Okay, I'm creating a lane.
Create that lane.
That's what I'm doing for 2020.
Yeah.
Creating a lane.
Exactly. The Wafer lane, which I'm really excited to see and hopefully be a part of because I just like I'm obsessed with you. And so, you know, you want to, the music industry is very tricky, girl. And we know that there are some glass ceilings and we know that women are just now really getting their footing in a lot of industries across the board. Do you think that you'd face any kind of adversity? I mean, I'm sure we all would, but you already are pretty seasoned. Do you know how you're going to maneuver through it, or is it like...
I don't know how I'm going to maneuver through it now, but I do know that I'm grateful to know a lot of strong and dynamic women already in the industry. And so, you know, hearing their adversities, someone like myself can come in and kind of like hit the door running because I already, you know, it's almost like you learn from these gurus.
Yeah, because you built a tribe.
Yeah.
In a sense, because a lot of people don't have tribes and they don't have guidance from a lot of people. I didn't grow up with mentors, and so I kind of messed up in a few places in and out of the, you know, hyper-structured world. I like to call it hyper-structured over corporate, but because I didn't have that kind of guidance. And so you've created this tribe of OGs, which is so beautiful. How did you do that? I'm pretty sure it was organically, but what qualities, traits did you look for when building your tribe?
Oh, and again, this goes back to social anxiety because I hate networking. Like, I have friends where they'll invite me to a network event. After she invited me to this one, I was like, I'm never doing this again. And she was like going around the room. Hi, my name is so-and-so.
Yeah.
And she had the elevator pitch. And that's great for her. But for me, I was like, this is so fake.
Right.
It's not me.
Oh my God.
I can't do it. Oh my God. I just feel like I'm like annoying the person, one.
Oh.
Two, sometimes certain people come off too strong doing that. And so for me, I had to find my own way of doing it. Like, I'm not the person like, oh my God, what's your name? Can we have coffee? It's like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And granted, the people on the other side can receive that and like they schedule and they do all these things. But for me, it has to be organic. And so I probably felt like I didn't have a mentor when I did have one. in these women. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I don't even think we had to say, "Oh, you're my mentor." It was just so natural, you know. But one thing I'll say is, in me doing that, I provided them something that they needed.
Value.
Right. So it's a give and take versus you trying to suck the energy out of a mentor. You know, like
I know exactly what you mean.
Like I would hate for me to approach someone and I'm like, "Oh my God, I would love to have coffee with you," or blah blah blah, and you know, and I'm just taking like, "Oh yeah, what's this?" and you know what I mean? I'm just taking from them. That doesn't feel good to me on a vibing level.
Right.
I want to earn that, you know? You want to earn.
Yes.
You want to earn these things.
Yeah.
And so I think I was able to do that organically.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think people see the passion.
And
a lot of
automatically
times people
connect.
say they want a mentor, they want to talk to you, they want this, they want that. But then you're like, girl, you're not passionate about what you want to do. So why should I?
And you can sense that authenticity. You can sense it from a mile away. Especially when you're more in tune with yourself.
And especially in clout culture.
Ooh. Oh my God. Trust me, I know. It's a whole nother world out here.
It's like, are you looking for a mentor or you're looking for access to space?
Okay.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. Because I would never do that to someone.
Mm-hmm. It's draining.
It's draining.
I know right now, currently, you're building your legacy, and I feel like it's a little premature to say, like, what is your legacy going to be? But, you know, if you were to, you know, leave things behind, what are you leaving behind for the world, the industries, your colleagues, your peers? What are they saying? Wafer taught me this. Because of Wafer's leadership, I learned this, and now I'm going to go do this. What are you leaving behind for people?
I think what I would like to leave behind is two things. One, if you dream it, then you could do it. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm such that person, especially for the mothers out there. Because I didn't see, I think in when we talk about environment, I always thought that you have a kid, your life is over. Not, you know what I mean? In a sense,
that's what they make you believe.
Someone tell me that, like when I said I was pregnant. First of all, I waddled across stage to get my diploma.
Yes.
Okay. But I had a couple people say, "Yo, your life is over now. You're a mom." Like blah blah blah, and I wanted to prove them wrong so bad.
That fuel.
So I use that as my fuel, you know? So that's one legacy, in a sense. And then another would be, I love hearing people's stories and then giving them the opportunity to share that with the world. And so I would want, you know, someone to say, "Oh, you know, Wafer, you know, showed me that my story is worth sharing."
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Being that lighthouse for people, being that safe haven, and like, oh God, I really love that, because that's what I aspire to be too. Which is why when I get platforms, I'm like, let me share it with the people that need to tell their stories, because there's a story behind everybody, and they differ so much. Yeah. You know.
I know that when we worked together, I don't even know if you even knew, was it casting? Like, I don't even know if you've done that before, like casting.
I had done it before, but not for that scale of like, girl, it was like music videos and stuff, but not the scale of this.
I was like, girl, you need to start your own business.
Right.
You're doing better than these other agencies that I have to hire.
She was like, you were like, you answer quick and you've got whatever or whatever.
She had a deck and she was not playing.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to run after her. I always say this, people are not in the business, and people are not in the business to make money anymore.
Ooh, that's so real.
Because there should be no reason why I'm begging you to take my money. Mm-hmm. There should be no reason why I'm chasing you down, like, send your invoice, do this, do that. You here to make money or Oh no.
And it's so funny because I didn't even expect to make money in the moment. And you said something.
She was doing it from the heart. Like,
yeah.
She didn't even, I think we didn't even have a conversation yet. She was just like, I could do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I jumped at it.
She was just moving, doing it. And we didn't even discuss money yet. And I was like, girl.
Yeah. She stopped me and was like, but you stopped me because I remember you in the kitchen at the crib because we were shooting for the project that we had on the table. And you were just like, like, no, we're not doing this. And you're like, I get it. You're one of those girls, right? You do it for the passion. This is not the case. Write your rate in. And I was kind of like, damn. Because she was really just like, oh, yeah, thanks for the passion, but we're not doing this here because
you know why?
This is here for you.
You know why? Because I've done that to myself.
Yeah.
I was literally doing it for the love that I undercut myself.
Yeah.
You know? And I never wanted to look at another black queen and be like, oh, yeah, you finna do it for pennies on a dime. Like, I came up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, especially when you were doing it for the passion, you overexceeded other people's, like, that I would have hired, what they brought to the table. Mm-hmm. So why would I do that to you?
Right. And then you got my homegirl. Like, paid. Yeah. And she just happened to be with me, and I called her that day and was like, you know, come through. They need this certain kind of jewelry line. And she came through and she was like, yep, I got money for you too. And it was like,
yep. Because
who is this woman?
She literally styled them and brought her pieces. And I think a lot of times, was it Issa Rae that says it?
Yeah.
Network with the people in your circle.
You know? Horizontally.
Yes. In that moment, it was like, oh, she's about to elevate this experience to another level, and she's right here with her pieces. It only made sense.
And we both got paid that day, just like that. And it was the biggest check I had ever seen from casting, because I'm telling you, I've casted all the music videos, the biggest artists, stars, the whole nine. I've done it all. And that was the first time that someone was like, no, I'm just going to give you what you're worth for this casting thing.
Right. It was literally the same rate as the others.
Yeah. And you were kind of like...
It wasn't even like I was like...
Yeah.
It was the same rate as the others, but for her to provide A, way more models, B, way more quality, and C, just the customer service of the whole thing. Like, you didn't deserve for me to undercut you.
You're going to be on set too? Yeah, of course. I'm going to help out. I want to make sure, like, it's just like, oh, no. Oh, you deserve it all.
What you deserve.
Yeah.
Right? And I think a lot of times, and I get it, like, people in different companies have to do it different ways.
Yeah.
But imagine how discouraging that is for a young stylist coming out, or you, who, you know what I mean? Like, imagine how discouraging that is when you get, like, pennies on a dime and you're like, damn, is this even worth it?
Oh my God.
Versus, like, me, like, receiving everything that you were telling me and all of the work that you were doing on a Saturday and Sunday. It was like, I told her probably Thursday midnight, and she had everything for me Saturday morning. And the event was like Monday. You know what I mean? Like, it was literally that fast.
And it wasn't
even
done.
Like she had weeks to do this. You know? And I appreciate that in people.
I appreciate you. Stop it. Because that sense of abundance is why now you're reaping those blessings.
You know what? The seeds planted, right?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. And
then they showed out. They grew out.
Yeah.
I needed them to, honey. I forgot.
Yeah.
I was in my, woe is me. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, these are sprouting.
Okay. And then it just doesn't stop. They always say that. Once you step into your winning season, it's like you're so overwhelmed that you're like, oh my God, this is what was waiting for me on the other side of my comfort zone, of my depression, of my all of this other stuff. And it's just there for you. So I'm proud of you, and thank you so much for being here and sharing this energy.
Thank you so much.
And
I think I needed this. You know, a lot of times
I could tell.
I needed this, yes.
Because I could tell, yes. I could tell too, because I'm like, there's a lot of people that are not talking that need to be talking, and I feel like they have something that they need to say, and people are not giving them the platforms to say. So those are people I'm going to target, because I could have easily hit the people that are already on these panels. I'm like, nah. Not that I'm like anti-panels or anti-whatever, but I want the movers and shakers that are on the ground that are not necessarily you know, like all the way up
Boots on
there.
the ground,
Yo,
10 toes down.
that's
like,
everybody that I've had so far. They're like, I see them pulling the tricks behind the scene. And sometimes they're not getting the credit or the checks or the X, Y, and Z, but they're thriving within their realm, and that's what I see with you. And it's beautiful, and I know you're I see you about to crack that service and literally like take it to the next level. I see it for you, Wafer, and I believed in it from jump.
When I tell you, like,
yeah,
I needed this energy.
I could
give it to me.
I just like give it to me.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I could tell, and I'm happy that I was able to give you a space to just cry. Oh my God, because we don't cry. Yeah, like, that's why I'm like,
you might have to edit this.
No,
edit the tears.
Right, edit the tears. But no, it was beautiful, and I really appreciate
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Wafer like the cookie, and we're at S.M.I.L E Talks. Smile, it gets better.